This is the blunt of reality. We've been waiting for some shit like this to happen.
Right.
Oh,
Use your brain.
Invincible. Think.
Right.
Don't you know the government? You think if there was an actual alien ship on the way that they would let you know?
Facts.
Or would they make first contact and then test the waters to see if they're violent or not? They're going to lie to you, man. I'm not crazy.
They think I am unstable. Don't you be a fool, you finna hear the truth. Watch me do what I do on the pod with the mic, and I ain't keeping it cool. Gotta bring the heat, gotta hit the street. Gotta stay 100, they ain't scaring me. You wanna censor a boss, you wanna censor a king. I'm not taking a loss, facts is all I bring. I'm speaking candidly, ancestors they stand with me. It's Pharaoh and Dessalines, the blunt of reality.
What's going on, Blunties? It's your boy, Dessalines.
Here with Pharaoh, we got another episode for you guys. Blunties, are you ready? Let's get it poppin'.
Yes, sir. You know what it is. It's Halloween weekend. And, yo, there's a lot going on, dog.
Yeah.
A lot going on. First, in particular, what I wanted to get into, it's something that not a lot of people talk about, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people are talking about the war in Gaza. We talked about that on the show last couple episodes. It's just, you know, what I believe is I feel like there's a lot of things and events that be happening in Africa that mainstream media doesn't cover.
Yeah.
And I think it's messed up. Same thing as Haiti, man. They don't cover a lot of stuff in Haiti. You got to really dig for it, if that makes any sense. It's not part of certain people's algorithms. I see stuff in Haiti. I see stuff in Africa. But it's not part of mainstream media and what everybody's talking about. They, you know how they saying there's a genocide in Gaza and in Palestine, right?
Yeah.
Apparently there's like doing the same thing in Africa. Apparently there's a radical Muslim terrorist group hunting Christians in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that. I don't know what your thoughts on that is.
That's pretty insane. Just thinking about that, what would the news say if this was something that was happening here in America? You know, because we have a very high population of Christians in this country. You know what I mean? And what I realized when it comes to African affairs, or in particular Black affairs, you know, like you mentioned earlier, you know, most of these things are swept under the rug. And, you know, it's kind of concerning to me because, you know, I don't know why. Why are these particular things that are happening in Africa, like you mentioned, these genocides that are ongoing? Why isn't the media, you know, giving it coverage like, you know, like the things that are happening in Palestine? Now, don't get me wrong, Blunteers. I'm not looking over, you know, one side more than the other. You know, this is a media channel. We tell you guys what's going on everywhere around the world. We're not just particular in one place or one demographic. We represent humanity. You know what I mean? We represent the ones who can't represent themselves, so we speak for those people. If you know what I mean, Dessalines.
No, I understand what you mean. To just add on to that, I got an article right here that basically says it's not just Nigeria. The radical Islamic violence is spreading across many nations in sub-Saharan Africa. Islamic militants and radicalized criminal gangs are exploiting existing conflicts, insecurities, and poverty across sub-Saharan Africa nations such as Sudan and Eritrea in the east, Niger and Burkina Faso. Remember, we talked about that in the west, the Democratic Republic of Congo in the Central Africa, and as far as Mozambique.
Mozambique. I don't know. I like that name. That's a very powerful name.
So it's different places in Africa, and I just want to get into some history right here, real quick, man. By the way, prayers to all the Christians out there in Nigeria and all Africans who are suffering from this violence, man. Stay safe. I hope you get some help, and I hope the U.S. tries to help out there too. As far as when it comes to African history, we always are told. I was watching this thing, right, as far as it's no longer taboo to talk about, the Holocaust anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm on it. All right. I'm on it right now. So
finally we we've hit a crossword road.
So Hitler was a bad guy. Nazis are terrible, right?
Yeah. Or was he?
Yeah. But as far as the Holocaust, it happened. You know what I mean? Jews were definitely hunted down. But in our American history books, I remember growing up learning about that. Meanwhile, there were other Holocausts that were happening.
Mm-hmm.
Other ethnic cleansings that were happening throughout history that we didn't hear about. Yes, I'm talking about ones in Africa. Yes, I'm talking about ones in other parts of the world. Yes, I'm talking about ones that have to do with Christians, just like right now in Nigeria what's going on with them, with those terrorists. The biggest one being Leopold.
Mm-hmm.
When I learned about that later on, after I done graduated high school and finished my second year in college, bro, Leopold was a savage mother lover. Blunteers, please look up Leopold and the stuff he's done. But it's not a competition. But I'm just angry that there were other people who were as evil or more evil than Hitler that we didn't learn about. That had to do with Africans and stuff like that. And the thing is now, when it comes to apartheid in South Africa and certain areas of Africa basically being taken over by European descendants, I'm a little fucked up about that, man. I'm a little messed up about that. I don't know if I'm making sense right now.
Yeah. To be specific on exactly who you're talking about, it was King Leopold II. And I'm trying to, it was in the Congo. If you guys aren't too familiar with King Leopold from Belgium, he's the second. He's the second. What they would do in Congo, they would literally chop off the hands of the workers just to humiliate them, and some of the savagery that I researched was some of the most inhumane things I've ever seen. And if I'm not mistaken, the amount of Africans that King Leopold II of Belgium racked up was far more than the amount of Jewish people killed during the Holocaust.
I pulled up some facts about him. Can I?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. King Leopold II of Belgium, like you said, was indeed widely regarded tyrant and mass murderer who ran the Congo Free State as his private property from 1885 to 1908. It's a period marked by brutal exploitation and widespread atrocities, like you were talking about. He was chopping people's arms, legs, whatever.
It was crazy.
His regime was responsible for the deaths of an estimated 10 million Congolese people, through some estimates range as high as 15 million. I could keep going, but what the actual fuck? Huh? Now that's evil. Why I ain't learned that in school? But I had to learn it myself. And that's the thing, though. I'm half angry. I'm half okay about it because we're always going to continue to learn things on a daily basis. But, and it's not a competition. But at the same time, what the hell? You understand what I'm saying? And that's just one thing. We're talking about illegal experiments they probably did in Africa that we don't know about. We're talking about a couple other things. Am I making sense, man?
Yeah.
But we say all that to say this, like, it's not a competition, but there's other things that's going on in the world. Blunt is, and we just got to be informed about it all. We can't just stick to one thing and think that we know it all, because there's always something either worse or the same that's going on.
Since we're on the topic of some of the most ruthless killers in history, let me ask you a question, Desaline. Have you ever heard of Mao Zedong? He was a Chinese ruler. He was estimated to kill about 20 to 55 million people. Yeah.
Lord have mercy. first.
in China. Yo, the largest number is attributed to the Great Leap Forward famine, which was, accounted for 20 to 55 million deaths, while other significant death tolls resulted from policies during the Cultural Revolution and earlier land reforms. So pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, around that time, anyone who objected anything that he said, he would kill him. But what he did first was he took all their arms away. So
And let them walk around?
no, they took their guns.
Oh, I thought you meant their literal arms.
They took their arms.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. I was
So
about to be quiet.
let's take that into perspective.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? If America, right, one of our constitutional rights was the right, which is the right to bear arms, which is specifically a right for Americans, if so the government ever tries to take control in its totality. So this is our defense. See what happens, he took away all the arms of the Chinese. And what happened after that? What do you think happened after that?
He started killing them off.
Yeah, you can't defend yourself if you have no arms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that tells you it gives you
An example
of how important weapons are.
Right. And not to say that all leaders would be as violent to just start, wiping people out. Like that's like it's too sadistic and it's unrealistic as far as now. But I can't even say that because look, there's people killing people because of their own religion and or ethnicity. So I can't even say that anymore because people are unpredictable. Anyway, it's messed up, man. You know what we need, bro? Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
We need some aliens to come through and help us out, man. We need some aliens to come through the world help us out, dog. I'm just saying, all right? Because I don't know if we got the formula correct when it comes to this economic societal thing we got going on over here. Okay?
Wait.
I feel like we should have somebody on the ship on their way right now saying like, look, we got to help these humans out. What are they doing? Translation: these niggas wildin'.
Yeah.
But
since we're on the topic
Yeah.
of spaceships, let's unpack this
3-1
3-eye Atlas.
3-1 Atlas is what
I thought it was 3-eye Atlas.
3-eye?
Yeah,
It might be 3-eye. Sorry.
3-eye Atlas.
3-eye Atlas. Yeah.
We covered this a few months ago, if I'm not mistaken. This was around March, maybe.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe March, I think. And
During Halloween too, it's crazy.
yo,
Halloween weekend.
it's crazy. This is what we've been waiting for, guys. It's been a lot of controversial things. Scientists have been shaken up by the foundings. They're running around in shambles.
Can I give the latest update?
Absolutely. But after you do,
Yeah.
right, I want to talk about this guy named Jeremy Cornell.
All right. We can
But
talk.
you go ahead and get into that right now.
So, Blood Tears, what's going on right now as far as when it comes to 3-1 Atlas, for those of you who do not know what that is, it's a comet that's been coming from a part of the solar system. And scientists has been keeping an eye on this comet. There's a lot of comets, a whole bunch of rocks in space that be traveling fast as hell, okay, whatever. But this particular comet is coming from a part of space that we received a radio signal from, which is extremely eerie within the scientific community. Scientists are angry with NASA because they've usually been sharing all of their images publicly and within the scientific community. That's what they normally do. They share photos with each other with anything that's going on in space when it comes to planets, rocks, comets, etc. But this particular, most recently, because NASA has satellites, rovers on Mars, satellites around Mars, they have clearer pictures of this 3-1 Atlas that they're not releasing to the scientific community.
Yeah.
It's also going on in China, where they say, hey, we're not releasing that either. So there's this anomaly that's going on that scientists are angry about. They're like, what? Why are you not letting us see this clearer picture of the one thing that we've been studying for however long?
Yeah.
And giving the dumb excuses. Some people say it has something to do with the government shutdown. Other people have other conspiracies. But you know where we at. This is the blunt of reality. We've been waiting for some shit like this to happen.
Right.
Come on, man. Think about it. Think. Oh,
Use your brain.
Use your brain.
Use your brain.
What's that shit from Invincible? Think.
Right.
Don't you know the government? You think if there was an actual alien ship on the way that they would let you know?
Facts.
Or would they try to make first contact, and then test the waters to see if they're violent or not? They're going to lie to you, man. I'm not crazy. And this is proving I ain't crazy.
Yo, to someone else agrees with you, right? He goes by the name of Jeremy Corneille, right? He's an American contemporary artist, filmmaker, and UFOologist based in Los Angeles, California. Initially gaining prominence as a visual artist by the late 2010s, Corbell became a well-known figure in the UFO community, producing documentaries, films, and podcasts on the subject. Earlier this January, right, he pretty much went online and he was like, yo, aliens are real. Mm-hmm. This is what we know. We know aliens are real. But guess what he said? And I got the video. He said they're going to try to fake an alien invasion, which Project I thought
Bluebeam
was pretty interesting.
Project
so I'm gonna play the short video. And I don't know. Blunt says, you tell me what you guys think about it. Desaline, you tell me what you think. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Sometimes when you want somebody to know a truth, it's so you can set them up to believe a lie. So UFOs are real, and they've been here a long time, and that's the truth. But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on Earth. It's nuanced, how they explain that, the nature of that threat, but that 100% is the lie you are going to be told. You even got a date. People have been whispering a date for a long time now. I sent you 2 texts today, not from me. I'm not going to propagate that lie. Everybody knows. Just start paying attention. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
So, what the fuck is on its way? What is going on in the UFO community that they are not letting us know? There's a storm brewing, Blunteers. And we don't know what's going on. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how to feel about that.
I know exactly what to feel. I want to go to everybody who ever looked at me crazy while we was either smoking blunts or drinking some liquor. And I wanted to bring up, like, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? And I look like the crazy. And people who talk about this strange shit, they be talking to people. And I'm an empath. I'm not gonna lie. I feel people's energy.
Right.
I know what people are thinking before they know what they're thinking.
Like, this motherfucker crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's cool. I don't mind that. I'm like, you know what? You just, it's a curse to have it. To be as intelligent as me.
Let me tell you something.
Still, that's how I feel, bro. Like, that's how I feel. Like, yo, look, a lot of y'all who's looking, y'all crazy. What does that matter? What he's talking about, by the way, I know this guy.
Yeah.
I've seen him speak before, Jeremy, that UFOologist. Some people are skeptical about him, but he also was friends with Bob Lazar.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. He actually interviewed Bob Lazar and brought him on the Joe Rogan podcast.
You know what that means? This shit is deeper.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to get to.
This is deeper than rap.
That's what I was trying to get to. So for those of you who do not know who Bob Lazar is, look him up. Basically, the government took away his entire scientific college degree after he worked on Area 51 on actual UFOs. Then they fired him, and he basically made a video of where they were testing UFO.
They wiped him from the system.
He's still alive. He's still a scientist. Yeah. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast. You guys go check that out. It's kind of for people who, it's a little it's not boring to me,
right?
But to other people, they were like, "Yo, he's talking about technology that's not even existent." Mm-hmm. But it's very fascinating. My fault. What was you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say that there's actual people, because I've had conversations with people. Like, I'm like, "Hey, you heard of the three eye atlas?" And they're like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
Which I understand, their main concerns are just going to work, paying bills, and and
that's okay. Sometimes
waking up, go to sleep,
sometimes
and do the same thing all over again. And I understand that
ignorance is bliss.
I don't think it's the ignorance. I think everybody is living in their own. Like, we're not living the same life. Everyone is in their own dimension, and like not a dimension, but
world.
Yeah, everybody's in their own world,
Bubble.
And I don't know. How can you not know that this is something that's trend? This is.
Don't look up.
This is, yeah. It says, yo, what's so funny? I seen a video and they were talking about it right in the comment section. It was like, yo, this feels like Don't Look Up all over again. And I told you before, Bluntier's like, Dessalines, he was like, yo, watch this movie. And I'm not going to lie to you, it was so hard for me to watch this movie. I couldn't even finish it because it was making me so upset because of how fucking idiotic these people were. It's like, yo, the world's going to end and everyone's acting like it's not.
It's the real world. That's why it had you angry, because of how realistic.
That's what it was. Exactly.
It was so realistic. It was a comedic satire that was based in reality that actually exists.
Yep.
If you pay attention to the news or what's going on, people would be like, "Yo, this is crazy. I would never believe this is real right now." But at the end of the day, like what he was talking about. So basically, he's saying that Project Bluebeam is underway, which is basically a small, subtle setup for a one world government. We're talking about attacks on the planet that are disguised as alien attacks somehow, some way, using some type of new technology, and then some leader coming out and saying, "Hey, these are creatures from another system over here, and we must band together as a one world government to fight back."
Who said that? Bibi Netanyahu? No, I'm just kidding. You said one world leader, so I thought he assumed the position.
Yeah. So one would seem that would be something that's going on. I mean, that's a conspiracy that's out there. It's something that's been out floating in the air for a minute. But then again, who's this guy, the crazy one that screams all the time?
Alex Jones.
He said, Alex Jones was saying that the Twin Towers were going to be going down, and then it happened.
Yeah.
So I don't put it past anybody. What was that?
Joe. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. There's like this GIF where he's just like screaming out, juice.
Yo, but it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But for some people, they wouldn't be able to take it. It's the same concept, man. Like what we've learned as a society is where we are, like completely, like as far as mentally, we're not all in the same mental place, man.
Do you
with
think
the food that we eat, with the education that we have, with the exercise that we lack, with the education that we lack, most of us, I don't want to call us sheep, but most of us are comfortable in where we at, and that's okay. Life is meant to be enjoyed and not to have to stress about things all the time, But at the same time, the only reason why evil exists is because good men do nothing. So that's something that really sticks to my mind when I think about things like this. When I think about these eerie plans that may be happening, I have end of the world dreams, my nigga, all the time, dog.
Word.
Like where things are just exploding all around me, and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like that's, of course, probably too much movies. Who knows? Video games, but.
Dessalines is like a movie connoisseur, so sometimes he may overindulge on, fantasy sometimes.
I mean, you can say that. You can say fantasy.
I got a question for you, right? Are we ready Like, let's say
Hold on. Overindulge on fantasy. What you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean? Matter of fact, let me bring up the next topic. Unless you have something else you want.
No, I just wanted to know because I wanted to ask you this question.
What?
Do you think humans are like, because you said that, you know, we're all not in the same place.
Yeah.
Intellectually, spiritually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to picture a world that incorporates or humans coexisting with a species of another species outside of the human species, and I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around that.
We couldn't even stand each other's skin color.
I've seen.
You think we could stand somebody with an extra arm on their back and two big black eyes? No, we're not ready for it.
I seen a video. Right, it was this black woman and shit, and she was in a pool. It was like not a pool. It was like maybe like a lake or something, or she was in a body of water, and she's freaking the fuck out, and there's nothing but turtles in the fucking water. She's like, every time one touches her, she just starts fucking screaming, and I'm like, yeah, maybe the aliens aren't ready to. we ain't ready for them to reveal themselves, because if turtles terrify you, not snapping turtles, just regular turtles, like. Maybe we're not ready.
Listen, we're shooting at unidentified aerial phenomenon if it comes into military space, if it comes into any space that we don't know about. We're assuming they're the enemy, and we're saying, hey, we're shooting you.
We have to treat them as they're hostile.
You heard him?
Yes.
You heard this human?
Yes.
You heard this human
We have to treat them as they're hostile.
Because you got to think. You as you're hostile, and we don't even know you. We have to treat you as you're hostile. Yes. We still believe in war and enemies. We still not one as a human race on this planet Earth. We still fighting amongst each other for bread and strawberries and grapes.
Things God gave us for free.
You will burn in hell.
Whatever the fuck he said. You will burn in hell.
Hold on. Let me get to this last thing real quick, yo.
Yo, that's fucking funny. That guy's funny.
So Blunt Tea, let's end on a lighter note. Dolphins, yay! Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yay, dolphins! They doing tricks and stuff like that. Psych! You're not allowed to communicate with dolphins. Dolphins have the intelligence of a 15-year-old teenager. They are capable of communicating with us. They are capable of also telling us what goes down. And over 70% or over 80% of the ocean that we haven't even discovered yet? There are also some people who believe that, or seen, there's videos of them, the UFOs basically going into the ocean. Some people believe that there are UFO bases underneath the ocean. And guess what? There are regulations put in place in American law that prohibits American citizens from communicating with dolphins.
Absolutely.
I think that's fascinating.
But
that has everything to do with the alien shit. So.
But that didn't stop one lady from having sexual relations with a dolphin. Oh my God, yo.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
So, a woman by the name of Margaret Lovat, right? She had a prominent relationship between a dolphin. She was a researcher, and pretty much this was in the 1960s. She blurred the lines between scientific research and deep emotional and intimate bond with this damn dolphin. So during a NASA-funded project to teach dolphins how to speak English, Lovat spent a significant time with Peter, which is the dolphin's name. They even named the dolphin Peter. She managed his sexual urges, which were disruptive to the experiment. So pretty much, on the course of trying to teach this dolphin how to speak English,
she gave him a happy ending.
She gave him a lovely long time. Can I get some type of sound effects to that?
I don't
She
even
gave
know.
him,
I don't even know.
she gave him a happy ending at the end of the. Yo,
She gave him a
she gave him that. Yum, nom, 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 nom. So
Yo, that's crazy. Bro.
So throughout the entire experiment, he would get these sexual urges, which would, like I read earlier, disrupt the experiment. He would nudge on her, make sexual advances to her. I don't know how a dolphin would make sexual advances to a human.
Dolphins are
Very well known. Go ahead.
Very well known rapists. Let me just say that. They'll save you too. They can save you from a shark. They'll fight a shark.
But I'm gonna need that.
Your life.
But I'm gonna need that.
Hold on. Not all of them are transactional.
But I need you to come up off that real quick though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, they do it in gangs too. They take turns.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Dolphins is like that.
Yo, like pause. Like you ever seen a dolphin's junk? Crazy.
I didn't want that in my
Crazy.
mind. So I know it has nothing to do. I know it has nothing to do with dolphins, but whales even whales communicate at a certain frequency that another I can't remember his name. Basically, he was capable of communicating with whales through a frequency on a radio. So much so, he was capable of predicting where they would be at. I believe it was in Australia, and
It's always an Australian, yo.
They all came together in a whole bunch of whales. They was like, "What's going on?" He was like, "Yo, I knew they're trying to communicate with me. Like we've been going back and forth with each other." Some guy. So there are laws in place that we don't know about as far as when it comes to animals such as dolphins and whales. Yeah, it's. So I don't know. I want to end it on some funny shit real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an episode of not Black Mirror. There's an episode of something called Love and Robots. Love and Robots?
Yeah, I've seen some of that.
Yeah, Love and Robots. There's this clip where these people, they're like, yo, these aliens, they came down here, they're floating there, we don't know why. They have some interest in this dolphin over here. And basically the dolphin died and came back to life. So to the aliens, the dolphin was their messiah. And so they came down and destroyed all humans basically because we were responsible for killing the dolphin. I don't know. It was a weird ass story that I thought was funny as hell. In its totality, I believe that yes, I believe there's animals that we could communicate that the government doesn't want us communicating with them because they might know things that are unexplainable or top secret. We're talking about probably secret missions. It could be from humans. It could be from another species. It could be between two countries that's beefing.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting, yo. In the 1960s, they ran a lot of experiments as far as dolphins and trying to communicate, using dolphins to maybe perhaps communicate with like extraterrestrials and all this. A lot of shit was going on in the 1960s, yo. A lot
of experiments. Remember, we wanted to go over those files. There's a lot of files that they actually took out or made. They blacked out. And then they remade public because of the Freedom of Information Act that's online. Things that are so bizarre. We're gonna go through them too one of these days. But basically, they're so bizarre that people just look over like, yeah, that's just fake. That's nothing. Yeah. Whatever. You understand what I'm saying? They're dismissive because of how unrealistic or it's just too out of this world to believe.
Yo, all right, let's put this into perspective. Let's go back to the 1960s. What were black people doing in the 1960s? Clearly, we know what was going on in the 1960s. This was around the time Martin Luther King, right? And the height of extraterrestrial exploration and scientific, foundings were at an all-time high. And with all the things that were going on as far as like extraterrestrials, black people were not hip to none of this shit. It's like when it comes to certain like major events, we're always distracted by something. You know what I mean? Like right now, welfare. No, I'm just kidding. Like SNAP benefits right now. That shit is distracting the shit out of black people right now, to the point where they don't give a fuck about
all people.
Atlas.
To be honest, because it's affecting all people, right?
Mhm.
So most Americans are being affected by this the news of the SNAP benefits being taken off. But yeah, you're right. We're easily distracted. That's part of the formula. That's part of moving the herd.
Mm-hmm.
I want to call it. You know what I mean? Because we are a herd necessarily. If the leaders or those who consider themselves leaders because they have more information than us, therefore they're more important than us, in their minds at least. In order to move the herd, you need to distract them with a carrot and or a danger, or vice versa, whatever it may be. So it's not a surprise, man. That's not a surprise. Distractions are important for those who can't take the truth, who can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it be something negative or whatever it may be. That's why they have all these housewives, reality shows, sports, and all that.
When in Rome, do like the Romans. What did they do in Rome?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They created all these not cathedrals. What are those places where they go to fight in
Arenas?
the arenas? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Gladiator arenas.
That was big in Rome back in the day, especially when Rome was falling. They had all these entertainment outlets for people to go and, not focus on the downfall of Rome.
Yeah.
And you see it so much so today, in today's time, and you can reflect like, okay, well, it seems like it's happening all over again.
Right.
With that being said, you just got to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of the times that we're living in. You know what I mean? You always want to be on a swivel. Keep your head on a swivel. Stay one up on the enemy.
Yeah, and and be, like you said, be educated, of course. And if you want to live in the matrix, what some people say, matrix meaning you're just, you have faith in God and that He'll keep us all safe. That's good too. But just understand that there are things that happen throughout history that once they hit your front door, it is what it is, But me, I like to be at least educated on what might be next door. And, because we're in a society right now, man, like before, back in the day, what the older generation usually tells me, they like, yo, it used to be a community. It used to be a village. You understand what I'm saying? But now everybody's to themselves.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, all I need is me, my house, and my people's right here. Where we have neighbors, you know what I'm saying? There's certain neighborhoods that are like that. But a lot of time in this day and age, everybody's on their phone. They're not willing to look up, if that makes any sense. I think that's another reason why they said don't look up, because social media can crowd your mind and blind you to what's actually in front of you.
Right.
It can make you think that most people are pieces of shit, where you have somebody who's holding the door open for you and giving you a smile.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? There's good people that's out there, and I feel like we, just to have that community is important. And I feel like, paying attention to what may be coming towards this planet Earth and talking to people about it is a big deal, because it makes us talk about, where are we as a human race, and what we have accomplished, and what are the problems we all going through as a community, as a people, as a human race. Nah, man, that's my final thoughts on that, though. I don't know. I could go all day with this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nah, man, you got any final thoughts, Pharaoh?
Nah, sir.
All right, you ready to go at this shit?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's the blunt of reality, man. We gonna keep coming.
That intro, baby boy.
Yeah. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. We're gonna keep dropping contact with you. Hey. Make sure y'all go ahead and check out that Robot is Born series out. Episode 1 out right now on the Blunt of Reality. What you say? You want me to hit that?
Yeah. Yo. Don't you be a fool. You finna hear the truth, watch me do what I do. On the pod with the mic and I ain't keeping it cool. Gotta bring the heat, gotta hit the street. Gotta stay 100, they ain't scaring me. You wanna censor a boss, you wanna censor a king. I'm not taking a loss, facts is all I bring. I'm speaking candidly, ancestors they stand with me. It's Pharaoh and Dessalines, the blunt of reality.